Hi, Haley. So this is the worksheet from Monday, from yesterday, and I'll walk you through these piece by piece and try and clear up some of the confusion. So first thing you'll notice is all of these equations have a zero on the right, which makes it a lot easier, and the middle term. So you've got the A term, which is really a 1 there in front. The B term is going to be this -10, and your C term is -75. So really what you want to focus on first is this B term. And if you notice, all of these b terms are going to be even. So they're all divisible by 2. So -10, -20, -6, -14, they all divide by 2. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to move the c term over first and then focus on that b term. So pardon my writing here, but, right, so if I do k squared, right, minus 10k, and notice I'm going to leave a little blank here. So I'm going to put plus, if it'll let me write plus, I'm going to put it in a little box. Since we are completing this square, I'll put in little squares. And it's going to be equal to, and if I take this -75 and move it over, it'll become +75, right? All right, so there's your 75, and sorry, I'll squish this in here, but plus, you need another box. So the reason why I put two boxes is because whatever you add on this side, you have to also add on this side. So notice everything is the same. I just moved literally the 75, the -75 that was there. I moved it to the right, and I put it in the two boxes. Right, so we start there. Next thing is, here's our b term. So -10. If I take that and divide by 2, I'll put this in parentheses. You get -5. All right, so -5 goes inside there. Oh, just kidding. So -5 goes in here. And then if I take this -5, I'm going to square it. So whatever this b term is, when you divide by 2, we square that, and that's what's going to go inside this box. All right, so -5 squared is 25. All right, so there's my 25. Come on, stop that. Here's my 25 here. And I'll also, since we put it in this box, you also put it in this box. Hoping to, it's really a 25. Come on, stop there. 25 inside that box. All right, so divide your b term by 2, square it, it goes in the box. Whatever goes in the left side box goes in the right side box. Now we simplify things here. So the nice easy part, which I'll put it here, is the right side. 75 plus 25 is 100. Okay, so there's your 100. And from what I saw, you were getting this, so stay with it. You can work this out. Now on this side, it becomes something squared. And the reason why it becomes a parentheses squared is because we are completing the square. Right? Not only is this a square here, but your parentheses are squared. That's the real square. All right, and the way we get what's inside here is, if you start with k squared, I put a k. If we had an x squared, you put an x, whatever that is. And this is why this is so crucial. This -5 here goes as -5 here. All right, so it's a beautiful thing. So k minus 5 squared equals 100. So we completed the square. We simplified this right side. And now we're going to solve. So this is solving. This is what we call vertex form, but you'll use that in a couple different methods. But in order to solve this as completing the square or in vertex form, to get rid of a square, we get rid of it by a square root. So here's my square root here. Well, that's a pretty wonky square root. Same thing. But a square root will cancel this square, so that's gone. So we're left with k minus 5. But everything else on the left side is gone. Right, square root and square cancel, k minus 5 is left. And now it equals, so square root of 100 is 10, but anytime you're square rooting a square, you need plus or minus 10. So please don't forget that, because a lot of students do get lost there when you do the plus or minus. So you get plus or minus 10. So we're there, we're so close. But we're solving for k. If I need this alone, you have to get rid of this 5. So I will add 5. Right, and you're going to add 5 to both sides. But when you add on to this right side, you're going to add 5, and then you're going to put the plus or minus 10 to the right side of that. It always goes to the right once you bring that number over. Right? Plus 5 stays there, then the plus or minus 10. All right, so these cancel. So now we got k equals, right, takes a little while to write this out, positive 5, don't need the plus there, but plus or minus 10. So notice there's no radicals because the nice thing is this radical reduced to a 10. If you do those radicals and it still has a radical, it's still okay to have one. All right. Let me just move this down so we can see some room. And now from this point, you've got 5 plus or minus 10. So really, we can break it into two solutions here. So k is going to be equal to, and we really do two different things. I'll bring it up here. You've got 5 plus 10. We're going to split up this little plus or minus sign. Now you get over from there. 5 plus 10, right? 5 plus 10 is the top part. And we'll split it to the other one. We'll get two solutions here. And we do 5 minus 10. All right, so if you can solve both of these solutions, 5 plus 10, well, we know 5 plus 10 is 15. All right, sorry, something popped up. I'm back here. So 5 plus 10 is k equals 15. That's the top one. Right, 5 plus 10 is 15. And this bottom one here, if I just move that, 5 minus 10 is going to give you the other solution. So k is negative 5. Right, so these two solutions, we can run them together as k equals, right, 15 and negative 5. And if I go back to my original problem just to take a look, 15 and negative 5 is solution B. So there we go. All right, so that's that one. All right, and I'll pick out one more here that has some radicals in it to show you that as well. All right. And all right, so I said I'd find some radicals for you. So I moved down to number 7 here. Again, this is from Monday's work. We'll work through the same thing. So the only difference now is that, look, there is no 0 here. So I'll work through the same exact process. Notice your B value is even, so we can divide that by 2, makes it nice and easy. And we are going to start by moving that C value and bring that over. All right, so if I bring the C value over, just to show you here, I'm going to subtract this 33, right? Create a new C value. And if I subtract that, we got to do both sides, of course. All right, so there's minus 33. So here's our new solution. So our new problem. So v squared, right, minus 12v, get away there. So 12v plus, here's those boxes again. So there's that box. That's the new C value. Since I moved this 33 over, there's nothing there. So there's my C value. And equals, come on, negative 33. Well, 3 plus negative 33 is negative 30. That is a negative symbol. All right, so we'll start there. So whether you have a number on the right, right, all these have a number on the right, the other ones had zeros. Same thing, just move over and combine. And then we're going to put in these boxes. And sorry for the overlapping, but that's all the space I have here. So v squared minus 12v plus this square, since we're completing the square, equals negative 30, which is these two plus this other square. Whatever we put in one goes in the other one. All right, so since this b term, here's what drives the rest. Negative 12 divided by 2 gives you negative 6. Then in parentheses. So you always divide your b term by 2 and then you square it. That's what shows what's going to be up in this box. And negative 6 squared is, didn't leave much room, but that's a 36. Okay, kind of see that in there. That's a 36. Inside here, this is also a 36. Right, whatever goes in one box goes in the other. And now we simplify. So again, I'll make the right side nice and easy. Negative 30 plus 36 is 6. Right, there's that one. And this side, remember, becomes something in parentheses squared. So what goes in that parenthesis and we square is this v. Since it's v squared, we put in a v. And this is why, again, this is so crucial. Minus 6 goes in here. So v minus 6 squared equals 6. All right, so we're at that point. So things are good so far. Found these numbers, we completed them, put them both in. Now we complete the square. So here's your square. So to complete the square, to get rid of a square, just like the last one, we did a square root on this side and a square root on this side. Right? A little bit nicer. So this square root and this square cancel. It's simply v minus 6. And same step as last time. Anytime we square a square root or square root of square, either way, we do plus or minus. And do we know the square root of 6? No, right? Think about your trees. Think about your nice perfect squares. If this was 9, it'd be a 3. But we don't know the square root of 6. Even try it in your calculator. It does not reduce, so therefore, we keep the square root of 6 in here. Right? No reducing. I know you're getting confused about that. So square root of 6 stays. So this likely tells me from my answers, it's probably this one. We have a square root of 6. It could be 66, but let's work it out. All right, so since we have v minus 6, again, you want this v alone, so we have to add 6. Right? And anytime we add a number over to a plus or minus a radical, we'll add it in here, but it has to go in front. It has to go to the left. Right? So this becomes v equals, right, this positive 6, then plus or minus radical 6. Again, that radical 6 did not simplify, so it stays in there. So what do we do at this point? So we don't know what radical 6 is. It's not a nice number. We could find that on a calculator, but leave it. We want simplified radicals. And this 6, you can't add radical 6 or subtract radical 6 like the last one. We typically split them, but with a radical, they don't combine anyway. So this is actually your answer. So 6 plus or minus radical 6, which 6 plus radical 6 and 6 minus radical 6 is your answer. All right. So that's A for number 7. So please let me know if you have any questions. That's the whole thing. Finding, moving the C value over, finding what goes in the boxes, creating the nice square, square rooting the square because that cancels out, and reducing your radicals if you can, right? So this one did not reduce. And if I go back up, this radical 100 up here did reduce to a 10. Right? That's why we use plus or minus regular 10. There's no more radical left. Right? And sometimes you'll have a radical that reduces as well. So let me know if you run into that, if that gets confusing, but that's the whole thing. So if you need to, replay this a couple times, but please let me know if you have any questions, and I hope this makes more sense for you. Okay? Keep your chin up, Haley. You can do this. Thanks. Bye.